بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نحمده ونصلي على رسول الكريم أما بعد. Last lesson we discussed about the four school of thoughts, the Hanafi, Maliki, Shafi'i, Hanbali madhabs, and can all four schools of jurisprudence be correct concurrently? Can all of them be correct? Are they right? Are some right and some wrong? One right, rest of them are wrong? Or can they all be correct? So, in terms of the follower person following, he will follow whatever is most convenient for him and he'll be rewarded. And it doesn't matter which from the four madhab, which madhab he follows, as long as his intention is, of course, following the correct way, Ahlus Sunnah wal Jama'ah, and whatever is convenient for him. Now, say for example, a person wants to follow a particular madhab, but then in that place, in that town, there's no, for example, say he wants to follow Shafi'i madhab, but then in that place, in that town, there's no Shafi'i scholar, no scholars, no material. So it's not realistic for him to follow the Shafi'i madhab. If in that town, say there's Hanafi or Hanbali or Maliki ulama, and he has access to them, to their books, then that's more convenient for him. So a person, layman, he will follow whatever is convenient for him. Allah has made it deen easy from ad-deen yusrun. Deen has been made easy for us. Bashiru wa la tunafir, asiru wa la yassiru wa la tu'assiru. Make it easy for them, do not make it difficult for them. Give them glad tidings and do not drive them away. Do not drive them away, make it easy for them to comprehend whatever is easier. So, following whichever is convenient for you as a layman. Now, then we did an example of a person who is blind, and say he is blind, he doesn't know which way the Qibla, and four people gathered, they are not exactly sure also which way Qibla is, and they follow different directions. He just follows any one of them, and so he's blind, he can't see, but he can't even see the Qibla anyways, right? So for him, he'll follow any one of them behind them and it'll be correct. Similarly, as a layman, you're blind to knowing the Quran, the full interpretation of the Quran, Hadith, the interpretation of the Hadith, Fiqh, deep Fiqh, its interpretation, and principles of Fiqh, etc. So you're kind of blind to the evidences, so you will follow a reliable scholar or a group of scholars. And whichever you follow, inshallah, you'll be rewarded. And then you try your best after that to, of course, stick to the madhab. And the when you say the sunnah, 90%, if not more than 90%, most of, say, the sunnah in all the four the madhabs, they agree with each other. In about 90%, maybe about 10% they'll differ. No, this is the most authentic, this is not. Maybe about 10-15% they might differ. Majority of it, they agree together. Our job is whatever they agree, whichever ulama, scholar, group you follow, then you follow that sunnah and you'll be rewarded for it. For you to then get into nitty-gritty where some people think that for the layman, he needs to find out exactly which is the sunnah, which is the stronger sunnah, and it's difficult for a layman. He has to study for many, many years, and even then to come to a conclusion is not easy. So then we did some hadith with regards to the mujtahid, the person who can derive from Quran and hadith and sunnah directly, and he can give an opinion, and he'll be rewarded because of his deep knowledge and piety he has. He'll be rewarded for his judgment, for his ruling. As for a person who gives an opinion, a fatwa, and he is not worthy of giving the fatwa, is not qualified, he will be sinful even though his opinion might be correct. And we said this is quite dangerous, you giving an opinion with even if you're correct. We said, I'm giving an example. What kind of example did you give last lesson? About the surgeon, okay? And this person, he's not a doctor, he's not a surgeon, okay? And he goes in the theater and he wants to do surgery, right? And he puts the mask on, and people do not realize, the doctors around do not realize who he is, and he goes and does a major operation. So he does the operation, and alhamdulillah, successful, and then he reveals his mask, and they say, oh, this is a student. He's not even qualified, or he or she is not even qualified to do the surgery. Will they be, oh yeah, very good, you did an excellent job, or will they be very mad? Will they be extremely mad? Extremely mad, whether successful or not. How did he dare to even come in the theater and take up this task? Very similar in our case, where a layman person who has limited knowledge should not be delving into let's find out what's the ruling here. This is the most authentic ruling here. He doesn't know how to come to a conclusion what's authentic or not. What are the things which make it authentic or